If you can hear my voice, that tells me that you have not hung yourself from the sheer boredom of the previous level. Now, I don't know whether or not to congratulate you on that, because quite frankly, at this point, I was ready to hang myself. I was ready to hang myself with an 18-inch flexible dildo. For not just the boredom, not just the loss of face at having spent so much time on this, but from the shame. The pure shame. And if you actually sit down and hang with this fuck-ass game this long, I almost want to applaud you, but then I'll be wondering, why didn't you just sit there and watch somebody else, some dumbass like me? As I mentioned previously, as I suggested previously. Go pick out Dragon Age if you want a good game. Go pick out Dragon Age if you want to enjoy your video game experience and not feel like you've just castrated yourself with a dull spoon. Now, supposedly, I probably said something to the effect that missions get increasingly easy relative to this game, when I say easy. Yeah, the missions from here on are really cut and dry and are pure bank book, whether or not you get killed excessively. That doesn't improve the quality of the level at all, and it certainly doesn't improve your enjoyment of said levels. I've often mentioned that the best thing about Detroit is that you can leave, right? The best thing about this game is that you can turn it off. I would say you could wipe your ass with it too, and I did earlier, but I would be misleading you if I told you that it wouldn't leave your ass dirtier having done it. It's more sanitary to take a shit, to defecate, and just leave it as is, than to wipe your ass with this game. But I'm just beating a dead horse. Speaking of shit, the next level is another pure example of that shitty level design, because it has one, in my opinion, enormous flaw. You know what? I'm gonna shamelessly tangent here. I should have just let that guy go. I mean, for the money, you can do it, but that is the closest I came to enjoying this game, was watching that gigantic sub shove its dick into a big rock face. Watching an inanimate object try to inseminate another inanimate object. That's the closest I came to enjoying this game. Anyway, back to shit. This level is shit. It's relatively straightforward. It's the same sort of blow shit up mission you've seen previously. The shit part comes from the homing rocks, and dear God, do they come down fast. I can only think that it's one of maybe two things. One, either God himself wants to make this experience miserable and thinks that it'd be awesome to team up with Satan to do so, or somehow these drug dealers are trying to kill you with seismic charges that miraculously have no effect on them. They can get hit by those rocks. I probably have never mentioned that. They can get hit by those rocks. It doesn't do shit to them. Anyway. So given that you've already fought against a bunch of fuck-ass tree huggers, now you have to fight against drug dealers who somehow have access to toxic waste. There's really no explanation for it. There's no real explanation for why most of the terrorists in this game are half as well equipped as they are. I mean, dear Lord, you are nowhere near as well equipped as they are. You do not have the sheer volume of ships that they do. You do not have the money to buy the sheer volume of ships that they do. So, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that the UEO is really trying to test you, or crime just pays awesome in the future. That's the most likely that I can think of. Crime is rad in the future if you can get all that awesome bullshit to throw at a world government organization. The speculation aside, yes, somehow these cockstains got a whole bunch of toxic waste, and they're gonna dump it at the bottom of the ocean. So, go blow it up. Really, you're gonna get a brain cramp thinking that one over, aren't you? No, really, the only issue with this level is that bull. That hippo shit right there. The fact that you have to negotiate this level in a speeder at the outset if you really want things to be relatively easy, where it doesn't have the room to maneuver. It has less ability to maneuver than the Stinger. That's saying something.